Hi traders, this is Mario Forex Other Way, the channel for traders run by a trader. In this video I will show you how to find the date when the retrograde of the planet, the retrograde motion of the planet occurs in the program called Astrolog 650. And in the meantime, I'll show you quickly how to make some settings. If you'd like, just in a couple of minutes, I'll explain to you straight away right now. So let's start the rock and roll. How are you today, traders? It's 27th of January 2020. The deadly virus from China, from Wuhan, is spreading around the world. The petrol prices are falling, the stock market start falling 2% and 2.5% into Europe at least. We'll see what's going to happen in the United States at the opening of Dow Jones. Anyway, in the meantime, we've got over here Astrolog 650, which I want to show you today. This is a free software. It doesn't cost a penny to get it. You just can install it. I use it. I recommend it. It's very useful to determine when the planets start retrograde, as well as to determine the degrees which appear over here in the small window, degrees of each planet at the given date. As today is 27 January. This is the degrees, the positions of the planets in each zodiac. You can change it as well using settings, display settings, and use 360 degree, and it will show you all the positions of the planets in 360 in the whole circle, not in each zodiac, because in zodiac it shows from 0 to 30 degree. Like here, like for example, you got Capricorn from 0 to 30 degree, Aquarius and Pisces and so on. So you can change over here. I will get it back just for the reference to make it simpler for you. So how we change these settings? Basically, most settings you can change over here, but there is another way to changing it. First of all, if you want to upload this program, just go to astrolog.org, and over here you got something called Astrolog 650 homepage. Just go there, download files, and you will find the file to download. What I recommend you is to download this one, Astrolog 650 for Windows Setup program. It will set up the program on your hard drive, on your C hard drive usually. It sets, you might change it as well. That's the best way. After that, as soon as you install it, you will get it in the form like this one. After a few small modifications. The modifications you'll find over there, basically in the documentations on astrolog.org. This version 650 is brand new. It's just not very long ago released. I used Astrolog 640 before. So the way how to set most of those settings, because what you have to set basically is the place. If you want the place, like here I got Krakow, Poland, with the place where I live. It's set over here, for example, and all the other settings like the size, because it differs. So you go straight to your C drive. On the C drive, you will get your Astrolog program. You get into this folder, and there's this small, tiny AS file. You open it. It's very intuitive. You can change it everything over here. So you can change the default locations here for you. Here you change the planets which you want to be displayed. There's a funny thing. 1 means no planet. There is no Earth here as far as see. And 1 and 0, it means that it will display those planets. You got default transit restrictions and so on. It's pretty easy. How to find retrograde movements of the planets. First of all, when you operate with Astrolog 650, as default, when you press plus button or your keypad or minus, it goes ahead or backwards 1 day. So it's default. It's default. When you want to change it, when you want to go ahead 1 month a step, you have to press Shift and 5. And now I press Shift and 5, and you see we got February, March after every press of the button, May, June, July. The next one, Shift 6, goes ahead and backwards 1 year. So as you can see here, we got 2020. I press the plus button on my keypad, is 2021, 2022, 23, and minus goes backwards. I think Shift 6, is it Shift 6? Sorry, Shift 7 goes ahead and back every 10 years. So look again here, we got 219 minus, I press minus, we got 2009, 1999, and so on. Shift 8 goes back centuries. So you can go back up to, let's say, when the Jesus Christ was 79 now, because he died earlier, but that's the year 14th of July, 70 year after the birth of Christ. So that's the way how you check it. But let's get back to I press Shift 4 now, and I'm going back now, and oh yeah, too far. Just to get in Astrolog 650, to get the recent time, you press Alt and N, like Natalie, like Nemo. And again, we are in 27th January 2020. So once again, Alt and N, left Alt, and I know whether with right Alt and N it works, but let's see, it doesn't. Right Alt and N letter, like Natalie, between M and B. So we are at the current date. How to find the retrograde motion of the planet? As you see, we got small windows over here, and when the planet starts retrograding, the Sun and the Moon do not retrograde, never. That's how it works. But all the other planets, they do retrograde. It means, I remind you, in my previous video I told you, retrograde motion is then it appears from our point of view that the planet, instead of going as usual through the sky, starts going backwards. That's the way, that's the impression, for the observer from the Earth. So to find the retrograde motion over here, what I usually do, I press Shift and 4, which is daily movements, and going backwards, I go back, look at here, it changes the dates here. When you press the button, it goes, and I wait till the letter R appears in this window. When did it appear? Here we go. So it's the end of retrograde motion at the moment here, which happened on January 10th. Then Uranus ended its retrograde movement. Usually it happens that 2-3 days after that, the planet stays and doesn't move left or right on the sky. So it seems as if it was just fixed to the sky, to the one certain point. But so you see, we got retrograde, and if we go backwards, look at the dates here, I got backwards and go till, we got 3 retrogrades here. R means retrograde. Let's look when happened the next one. Here we go. So on November 26th was the end of Neptune retrograde, and we go backwards. On November 20th, we got end of Mercury retrograde motion. So that's the way we are finding it. As you see, in a certain moment, December 1st, we had 4 planets retrograding: Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That's how it looks like. That's the way to find retrograde motion. Still, I owe you explaining how to find the positions of the planet which might be considered in a calculation in square of 9 when you're squaring the price, which what I told you in one of my previous videos. So we go to settings, as I said at the beginning, display settings. You click this window over here, 360 degree, click OK, and we go all these measurements. So what I found that here, as I told you in one of my videos, when Venus passes the areas of round numbers, which is 180, for example, which is apart every 30 degree, because Venus moves around from zodiac to zodiac, makes 30 degree. So when it reaches, for example, 180 degree, it might have been a major turning point. As here you see planet Venus together with Mercury, they are just passing from one zodiac to the other, and the date is 14th of September. I don't know what happened then, but we might just have a butchers here. And 14th of September is somewhere 17th, 13th, 16th. So 14th was Saturday, as far as I see, but you see it was slight drop of the price. It's just an example for you. That's, guys, nearly everything what I wanted to tell you. Just the video was to show you how and where to find dates when retrograde motion begins or ends. When you go back to the last year, you go to somewhere which I made last video about April. You see Jupiter was retrograding here, started retrograding on April 11 or 10. What is 11 April, Jupiter started retrograde, and it lasts till, I don't know, long time, because Jupiter was retrograding a couple of months. So as you see, sometimes it happens that we got 5 planets retrograding, like in Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto, which happened in July, end of July 2019. That's all the story, morning glory, guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, just share it with the others, and I'll see you next time in my next part of the series, Trading the Skies. I'll see you next time. Have a nice one, green peeps.